For his income, a devotee should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. He should live in a secluded place and always be thoughtful, peaceful, friendly, compassionate, and self realized. So, these are instructions by Lord Kapila as to how a devotee should conduct himself. In the previous verses, Lord has mentioned about being faithful in practicing sense control and fixing mind on Krishna. Then executing devotional service with gravity, observing celibacy, and engaging in offering results to the Supreme Lord. Now, further, finer traits are being explained, which are explained in Bhagavad Gita also by the Lord in 12th chapter. That these are the qualities that make a person devotee, and these are the qualities which are very dear to the Lord. In 12th chapter, Lord says, there is a description of 33 qualities, which are, these 8 verses are called as Bhakta Ashtakam, 12.13 to 12.20. Now, there are 33 qualities mentioned. Prabhupada mentions in the purport for these 33 qualities, one who wants to be recognized as a devotee, should develop the good qualifications. And these are those good qualifications. So these 33 qualities which are mentioned, some of them are mentioned in this verse also, same qualities. These become the checklist for a devotee. That how much have I progressed as a devotee in my devotional life. So first of all, we should know what are these qualities. For that, we should read them again and again. And then they are explained by Prabhupada in the purport that what does this each quality actually mean and how one has to practice it in practical life. So similarly, now here few of them are mentioned. He should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. So satisfaction is one of the foremost qualities of a devotee. Prabhupada says, many times you would have heard this quote of Prabhupada. Anxiety means sense gratification. If you are anxious, that means you are after sense gratification. Right? Because, and immediately Prabhupada says, Yadricha labh santushto. Devotee is satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord. If he is anxious, means he is not satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord. He is hankering for something more. So anxiety means sense gratification, material anxiety, of course. Right. Then another one is, he should not eat more than what is necessary. Myth bhuk. Right. So devotee, this means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. Now, in this Bhakta Ashtakam, there is one, the other day I was discussing with one devotee. There are many qualities mentioned. One of those is Santushto yena kena chit. Santushto means satisfied. Yena kena means whatever. जैसे वैसे जो भी आ जाए, ऐसे वैसे जो भी आ जाए उसमें संतुष्ट. संतुष्टो येन केन चित. So it is translated by Prabhupada as satisfied with anything. Whatever comes, one is satisfied. Now how it is explained in the purport? A devotee is satisfied with anything. Purport Prabhupada explains, Santushto yena kena chit. He is happy in all conditions. Right? Devotee is happy in all conditions. Next line continues further. Sometimes he may get very palatable foodstuffs, sometimes not, but he is satisfied. So, am I santushto yena kenachit? How do you know? After we go to APH. He kyun bana? Right. So, I was just discussing with one Prabhu the other day. Somebody asked me, I want to learn tolerance. I want to practice tolerance. How should I do? In our GLC class, somebody had asked this question. So I told them, then I remembered this. I said, 1 week, 7 days you practice one principle. What is the principle? Santushto yena kenachit. And how it is explained by Prabhupada? Sometimes he may get palatable foodstuff, sometimes he may not, but he will never complain. So next 7 days when you go home, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever comes, without uttering a single word, without complaining anything about it, just eat. If you are able to do it for 7 days, right, you will level up in your tolerance. So same way, devotee yaddichya palabdhena yaddichya labh santushto. So santushto yena kenachit, there are many things about which one can be satisfied. Right? About wealth, material opulences, material name, fame. But Prabhupada pointed out towards this one particular thing. Sometimes palatable, sometimes not palatable, he will eat without complaining. Why? Because tar madhya jivha ati lobho mohe sudurmati take jeta kathin samsare. Right? Our kathin samsara, the root cause of our kathin samsara is this jivha. If one can, without complaining, one can feed this jivha whatever comes on its own accord as Krishna Prasada, right? Without complaining, he will cross one level of devotional standard. Right? So I told them like that you should do like this. But then I thought I should also practice like that. But immediately next, ye kya bana diya? Right? So devotee has to watch himself through these parameters. Devotee has to watch himself through these parameters. Right? Each and every instruction is practical instruction for us. This is the standard set by Acharyas, set by the Lord, set by Prabhupada, that this is what we have to achieve. So we have to be very, very watchful about how we are conducting ourselves. Isn't it? Where have I reached? For Santushto yena kenachit, where have I reached? Advaishta sarvabhutanam, that also comes here. Compassionate, friendly and compassionate. Maitra karuna evacha. Right? Where have I reached in this standard? So how, now this is very, very instructive. What is the essence of Gita? Which verse is essence of Gita? 11.55. Correct? Now in 11.55, Prabhupada says, very interesting verse, very interesting sentence Prabhupada makes in the purport. Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky, means going to Goloka Vrindavan and connecting with Krishna. Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the supreme personality, Krishna. Right? So if you want to develop an intimate connection with the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, must take this formula as is stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That is 7.55. This verse is considered as essence of Bhagavad Gita. And what is instructed in this essence? Essence means it will have whole condensation of Gita in one verse. Right? Entire condensation or the whole concentrated capsule of Bhagavad Gita in one verse. This is the essence. If you have to pull out, 4 things are instructed by the Lord. Mat karma krin, mat parmo, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. Yaha sa mam eti pandava. He will come to me, O Pandav. Pandav means Arjuna. Mat karma krin, work for Krishna. First. If you want to go back to Godhead, Krishna Loka, intimately connect with Krishna, right? Make friendship with Krishna, live with Krishna in that planet, you have to work for Krishna. Mat paramo, make Krishna the ultimate goal of life. What is the goal of life? Why are you doing bhakti? To attain Krishna, not for any other benefit, any other purpose. So first is work for Krishna, making Krishna the ultimate goal of life. I want Krishna only, nothing else. Mat bhakta sangha varjita. Sangha varjita means, Prabhupada explains Sangha varjita as free from the contamination of fruitive activity and mental speculation. So bhakti should be, one has to do devotional service without any fruitive purpose, without any material benefit in return, and without speculation. That is as instructed by Acharyas. Jnana karmadi anavratam we say. So free from jnana, free from karma. Mad bhakta sangha varjita. 4th instruction is what? Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu means, vairi means enemy. Vairi means enemy. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu means he doesn't have enmity towards anybody, any living entity. Right? Who is friendly to every living entity certainly comes to me. So these are the 4 instructions given by the Lord. To come to Him, we think only we'll do nice bhakti, we'll do nice service, we'll do nice devotion without fruitive work. That will solve only 75%. But to go back to God, another 25% is, 4th instruction is, we should be friendly towards every living entity. One should not have any inimical feeling, behavior, nature, action towards any living entity. That is called Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu. Right? So essence of Gita means, if you pull out finest, most topmost instructions from Gita, one of those is our conduct towards other living entities. Right? So bhakti is not just myself and Krishna. A devotee should learn how to deal with other living entities also. To go back to Godhead, this is also required to be developed, cultivated. Right? Now in Bhakta Ashtakam, considering the present verse that we are discussing, there are 33 qualities which are mentioned by the Lord. First 2 qualities are about, first Lord starts itself with how to deal with other living entities, not how to surrender to me. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitraha karuna evacha. One who is not envious. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Right? One who is not envious. Maitra karuna evacha. But who is a kind friend to all living entities. So how do we know this? We should take our mobile. In that there is a contact list. Take 500,000 contacts will be there. Go one by one. The moment you see some name and means we are still far away from Adveshta Sarva Bhutana. Right? Then next you go, oh, इसका नाम क्यों मेरे लिस्ट में रखना पड़ रहा है, मजबूरी है. I just don't like this person. I can't stand this person. Means still we have a long way to go. Like this you scroll. If you have 1,000 lists, 50 will be such names. Correct? Now, I cannot forgive this person at least. This I will not forgive. Others I may forgive. This person, badla lene ka. So first two instructions given by Lord are these: Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunayata. This is a part of essence of Gita. And this is the quality which Lord appreciates in His devotees. So when we see practically like this, how much we have to further progress. There is such a long journey we have to traverse. Right? Then further, about dealing with other living entities. Next verse, 15th verse, Lord says, Yasman no dujate loko, lokan no dujate chayaha. Yasman na udvijate. Udveg means disturbance. By whom others are not getting disturbed. So devotee has to be sensitive. Sensitive in what sense? By my conduct, others are not getting disturbed. Right? If we follow this very nicely, our Ishtagoshtis will reduce. Somebody has taken my this away. Somebody has taken my that away. Isn't it? It's causing me disturbance. So devotee has to be sensitive. My action should not cause disturbance to other living entities, not just devotees. Other living entities also. He for whom no one is put into difficulty. Right? Because of devotee, others are not put into difficulty. Right? And who is not disturbed by anxiety. And when others behave, he is not disturbed. So, it is a cultivation. It's a culture that one has to imbibe. He has to cultivate in this way his consciousness that he develops these qualities. So, in this way, there are so many instructions given, right? How one has to conduct himself to become a devotee, right? To become a devotee, a bhakta. See, sadhak means, if you see, Lord Krishna explains sadhana in Bhagavad Gita, very famous verse, 12th chapter again. But before that, Lord says, what is the highest level of devotion, highest principle of devotion? Mayeva manha adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. If you cannot do this, then do sadhana. If you cannot do sadhana, then you do practical service, engage in service. But highest is what? Mind and intelligence should be fixed, invested in. Mayeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. You have to invest your mind and intelligence in Krishna. So, the highest standard or level of bhakti is internal, where your mind is always on Krishna. Your intelligence is constantly thinking about Krishna. Right? If you cannot do that, this is what pure devotees do. They are on that platform. If you cannot do that, then engage in external actions, physical sadhana, physical service, to train your mind to get fixed on Krishna. Right? So, the standard set by Lord is your mind and intelligence should be fixed upon Krishna, on me. If you cannot do, then do such actions. Do such actions. By doing those actions, you will start fixing your mind on me. That is called sadhana. So, sadhana means, for a sadhak means cultivation. Cultivation of what? Cultivation of fixing mind on Krishna is called sadhana. For that, different activities, different procedures, methods, services, engagements are given. By engaging in all these activities, the purpose is to bring mind on Krishna. Whether it's chanting, it's attending Mangalarti, or doing service, or devotee association, reading Sadhyay, attending Arti, doing other sevas for the Lord, Panchatik Vidhi, Bhagavad Vidhi. All these are intended towards fixing mind on Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So the purpose of sadhaka is this: to train the mind in such a way that mind remains on Krishna and Krishna's instructions. So sadhana includes, a sadhaka's life includes cultivating these qualities which are mentioned in the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Right? So what are these qualities? For his income, a devotee should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. Right? So how do we understand what is necessary and what is not necessary? When you have khichdi, papad and sabji, how much do you eat? This is necessary. When you have paneer sabji and lachha paratha, then how much do you eat? Right? From that you minus khichdi amount. Say you eat 400 gram khichdi, but when it comes to paneer sabji and lachha paratha, you eat 700 grams. Extra is 300 grams. 400 is need, 300 is greed. Right? So you imagine if there had been bangan bharta here, or some bangan sabji or some lauki sabji, how much I would have eaten? I would have eaten this much only. Now I am eating this much. Right? So for my sustenance, 400 grams is enough. For sustenance of the whole body. For sustenance of small tongue, extra 300 grams is needed. So that's how Lord says, he should not eat more than what is necessary. Sunday to Sunday we should calculate how much we have progressed. Right? These are the things for which one has to become thoughtful. These are the things for which one has to become thoughtful. Have I really progressed something? Have I advanced something from previous week? Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, a devotee should assess his devotional service Ekadashi to Ekadashi. From previous Ekadashi to this Ekadashi, how much have I progressed? Right? So what are those parameters of progress? These are the parameters. The 33 qualities are the parameters of progress. How much have I reduced my hatred or envy towards others? How much am I satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord? How much am I able to tolerate honor, dishonor, happiness, distress? Right? How much am I able to accept whatever is given by the Lord? How much am I able to focus or meditate on the Lord? Invest my mind and intelligence. Throughout the day, how much time have I spent on thinking about the Lord? Right? And how much am I above anxiety, above worry? Right? So, this is how one has to constantly go on checking himself. This is how sadhana is performed. Right? I was standing in Mangalarti. How many minutes I was able to meditate on the Aarti and the Lord instead of my service, or somebody said something to me, or something has happened to me. Right? If 15 minutes is the Aarti, then how many minutes was I focusing on the Lord, attentive towards the singing of Aarti, attentive towards the meaning of the Aarti, attentive towards the performance, seeing, darshan of the Aarti, and how many minutes I was thinking about, he said like this to me, he said like that to me. So every time we have to consciously increase our attention, increase our focus. When I'm chanting, how much am I able to focus on the japa, not on other things? Right? When I'm honoring prasadam, am I able to see it as mercy of the Lord and take it as mercy of the Lord? Or I'm thinking, oh, attack now on this prasadam. Right? So, for everything we have to be watchful. That is how we will come to Sattva Guna. Unless we come to Sattva Guna, right? Even if somebody is not 100% Krishna conscious, he can also go back to what Prabhupada says. Right? Prabhupada says, no, if you are 90% Krishna conscious, still you can go. 80% also you can go. Even if you are 70% also, you can go back to Godhead. So going back to Godhead is not difficult. फिर तो मजा करके भी जा सकते हैं ना. अगर 70% भी जा सकते हैं तो 100% क्यों बनना? मजा करके जाओ. Point is not that. Point is, at the time of quitting the body, the pain will be very severe for what all non-Krishna conscious activities we have done. Right? And there is a danger of forgetting Krishna at that time. There is a danger. So, how much ever we are in Sattva Guna, quitting of this body becomes very smooth, very easy. We are able to focus on Krishna. And that's why in 7th chapter Lord says, one who fixes his mind on me like this For him, quitting the body becomes very easy. At that end time, when the whole body is disturbed, right? And why body will be disturbed? One is our karma, old age, disease, many things will be there. Plus all the non-Krishna conscious activities we have done. The quitting of body becomes very painful or troublesome for us. Right? Then there is a danger. Arjuna is worried. At such a time, how will I be able to remember him? Right? So if somebody wants to quit this body very easily, very smoothly, and assuredly go back to Godhead, then these qualities have to be developed. For this, one has to become conscious of these qualities. Right? Then further it is written, he should live in a secluded place. So what is secluded place? Devotee should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. That is ashram. He should live in a secluded place from the material world. Right? When Bhagavatam says live in a secluded place, we have to understand from Prabhupada what is that secluded place. Sometimes those who do not hear from Prabhupada properly, one fine morning they'll get up, they'll take their bag, they'll take their Bhagavad Gita and go to Radha Kundi. Right? But that is not the mention. Sometimes some devotee get inspired. Now I want to take sannyas. Right? I will live in a secluded place because secluded place is very much important for cultivation of devotional service. Right? And also it is written one should not worry Aniketa in 12th chapter. But sometimes somebody can get that feeling, oh, I'll take sannyas now immediately, or I should live in a secluded place. It is very important. In devotee association, so much of, because devotees are sadhakas. Sadhakas means they are not pure devotees, they are cultivating devotional service. So definitely there will be some shortcomings in devotees' behavior, conduct or activities, and somebody quickly gets disturbed. Somebody quickly gets disturbed by seeing all these things. That means he is not fit for being sannyasi. Why? Because essential qualification of sannyasi is being tolerant, shami. He has to tolerate. Right? This is where one learns tolerance. Lord Krishna says before going to forest, in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Lord Krishna says before going to forest, one should learn how to stay. A person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all honest well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial with an equal mind. So by seeing somebody he is not disturbed, by seeing somebody he is not elated, my favorite person. No. So when he sees everybody with an equal mind, next verse Lord says, next shloka, a transcendentalist should always try to concentrate his mind on the Supreme Self. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. After attaining this stage of seeing everyone equally, one becomes qualified to go to forest and live in a secluded place. As long as one has ichha dvesha, correct, towards anybody or towards anything, he is not fit to be a sannyasi because he is still under the modes of nature. So for us, being in ashram is sannyasa. For us, being in ashram is living in the secluded place. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. This is a sacred place of pilgrimage. This is a place of pilgrimage which is established by Prabhupada to send people back to Godhead from here. Now, one by one, all of us will be going back to Godhead from here. So this is a sacred place of pilgrimage. Right? Because all the necessary things for which a person goes to pilgrimage place are available here. Prabhupada has established everything here in such a way. Right? So our mission should be to stay here lifetime and to engage in devotional service with these qualities. Unless we cultivate these qualities, our devotional life will become very difficult. Sometimes we'll think, what is the purpose of my being here? Right? Why such thoughts come? Because Rajoguna prevails, Tamoguna prevails. It prevails because we do not conduct ourselves in a regulated way. These are the regulations of conduct. How one should conduct a sadhaka. is not just 5 hours of sadhana, but remaining devotee is devotee for 24 hours. A devotee is a devotee for 24 hours. He is not a part-time devotee. So 5 hours you do sadhana, chanting about Lord, taking darshan of Lord, serving the Lord, honoring prasadam of the Lord, hearing about the Lord, doing sankirtan for the Lord directly. Rest of the time when you do service, when you do your personal things, how to conduct oneself, remaining 19 hours is given here. If we neglect these things, 19 hours is bigger than 5 hours. Right? Rest of the time, how are we feeding our minds? With what we are feeding our minds? Right? That will affect our consciousness, and again it will affect our next day's attention in devotional service, attention in sadhana. So one has to be very watchful about, am I cultivating these qualities? So one should take up this task, 2-3 days, repeatedly read this Bhaktastakam. Take down the points, how Prabhupada is explaining each quality, and then see where do we stand from 0 to 100 scale, where do we stand in practicing these qualities. Have I become dear to Krishna? Have I even tried or thought of becoming dear to Krishna? कभी सोचा है कि ये क्वालिटी मेरे अंदर आनी चाहिए? भाई चल रहा है, चलने दो. This callousness is for a very good opportunity for Maya to trap us, to derail us from our Krishna consciousness. Right? So we have to be very, very watchful about this. We'll stop here. Gansha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.